All right. Part two. Second verse. Let's hope it's not like the first though. We
No,
don't we
no, it
don't
will not be.
necessarily need for it to be a full repeat. But either way,
Yeah,
you know how it goes. Glad that you're here with us. Taylor the Faded, man. It's it's week two. We got some money last week. We did win something. That's the good news. The good news
that's the
is we
important
only
thing
won
to
one.
remember. It wasn't a total crime scene. There was
Yeah, yeah.
shimmers of light. It didn't,
Winning
it
happened.
didn't. Yeah, yeah.
Um, winning happened.
Hmm.
We are not though going to do a whole lot of rehashing of the negative. We will simply say that if you tailed our pick of Vikings money line at plus 127 or whatever it was, you won. and all we promised you was some winners. We came
Right.
through. And on
Exactly.
top of that, we played all them bets with y'all. Trust me. Any disappointment y'all had or whatever happened, I promise you, you were not alone.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
mutual and felt by all. But
And and a couple of
either
the Johns,
way,
like they only missed by like a yard here or there. Like we could
well,
have had a way better day, but it was a learning experience more than anything. Plus, that's what week one is. You're kind of figuring out who's better than you thought they were going to be, who sucks way worse than you thought they would, and that the Giants are as bad as I assumed that they would be.
yeah, yeah. No, the Giants are definitely as bad as we assumed they would be. Um, except for Malik Neighbors, who was 2 yards better than we needed him to be, and then we would have won that. Like if he was 2 yards worse than we thought he was going to be,
Two, two,
then
right?
2 yards. That's all. Two little funky ass yards. But either
Mhm.
way, Puka Nakua getting hurt kind of killed one of our tickets too. That was
Yeah.
not
And he's like
the
out. They saying like 6, 7 weeks for him.
yeah, no, he got hurt in real life. Like
Yeah.
and the whole thing is that that's part of it, man. Sometimes injuries are gonna be the problem with your ticket. Like, and there's
Yes.
nothing anybody can do about that.
No. No.
Injuries are a part of football. To be fair, on Monday night, injuries helped me cash a ticket because Christian McCaffrey got voided, and I don't know if he would have hit those numbers, but it got voided, and Brees Hall hit his numbers, and all
Same.
my tickets to
Same.
Brees Hall cashed.
Same. I had Brees and CMC for a TD, but that John voided.
That's
Would
what
have
I'm
been smart
saying.
to add Mason, but didn't really have that foresight, I guess.
I mean, who did? Nobody knew that was going to happen. Although, going forward, if a 49ers running back gets hurt, we're just going to put the same numbers on the following back. It's
Yeah.
a system thing. They are
Hmm.
not in any way, shape, or form. Like, it's just,
That's a good football team,
yeah,
next man
exactly.
up, and they keep handling business. But let's give them today's gold.
All right. Well, we love to start with straights because straights fun because we started with straights last week. And guess what? We won. So we're gonna start where we were good last week.
Hmm.
Uh,
And all
and
you bettors out there that is easy to be parlay heavy. Straights pay too. You might have to put a little more on them, but it's
but
worth
it's
it.
a lot less sweat because it's one
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's you're waiting for one thing to cash, and then
Hmm.
you got your money. That as far as anxiety goes, it doesn't get better than that. It really,
Correct.
really doesn't. And in keeping with our theme that we followed last week, in that the New York Giants are a terrible, terrible football team.
Yeah, they really are.
Um, that's just that's really that's what this is. So for our very first bet of the day, we have the Washington Commanders using
Now,
the FanDuel 100% profit boost money line pick against the New York Giants.
and this is not to say that the Washington Commanders are world beaters. This is again to say that the Giants stink on both sides of the ball. With the Commanders, between Austin Eckler and Jalen Daniels, they should at least be able to run the ball enough to score twice, maybe three times. I feel like you won't need more than that to beat the Giants.
Yeah, because the Giants are like 21 and under, like first to 21 when you play the Giants, because they're
Yeah,
very rarely could have cracked that number.
Oh man.
This
So
year.
I'm a big proponent of convince me otherwise. If I see something going on, like when I go to the roulette table, if 17 just hit twice in a row, I'm gonna put something on 17 because the board is showing me 17's hot. The Giants are showing me they're trash. So until somebody proves me otherwise,
that's the only way we could do. Yeah,
ride the wave till it crashes.
And on top of that, we like to work smarter and not harder. It was profitable last week, so until it's not profitable, we just gonna go ahead and ride with that. So first pick of the day, Washington Commanders money line. Please make sure you opt into your profit boost and select it as you before you put your bet in. Yeah. I mean, you still gonna win money because they stink, but you can win more money if you put the boost on it, right? Because again, they stink. I'm just having a lot of fun reminding everybody, that the Giants stink. It's really definitely a thing. Okay, so second straight pick. Now there's a method to this madness, everybody. I want everybody to be and Ty, I'll let you explain it because you hit me with it, and I was and it was just so very convincing and easy to understand.
So because the Carolina Panthers also stink. I think if you saw them last week, or you at least saw the highlights, you get that. But like their quarterback stinks especially, and they didn't really do much from a running perspective. So if I can see that they need to run the ball more, you would think that the coaching staff would already see that. And to have a starting running back be 5-1 on an anytime touchdown is crazy. Like you'll see running backs be 5-1 for like first touchdown or last touchdown. So 4 quarters to get in the box one time is a hell of a value prop for a starting running back. So it just seemed too good to pass up. Now, I'm not saying bet the mortgage on it, but if you can turn $5 into 25 just from one ass touchdown, why not?
So just to give you, if you want some comparison on how insane these odds are, right? David Montgomery, the Detroit Lions starting running back, is minus 150 for an anytime touchdown. But Derrick Henry is minus 165 for anytime touchdown.
And if I'm not mistaken, Jahmyr Gibbs is probably minus 135 or 45 too. So the Detroit Lions have 2 running backs with better odds than Miles Sanders.
With infinitely better odds. Travis Etienne, minus 110. You are absolutely right. Minus 165 for Jahmyr Gibbs.
Right. You could combine Montgomery and Gibbs and still
not have 5
to Miles Sanders.
So with that, and for those of you who are Eagles fans, you're familiar with Mr. Miles Sanders. Y'all know that if he gets some touches, he's definitely capable.
Yeah, and that's the main logic. Like, if we know this, then you have to thank the Panther staff. Know that there's no victory if you rely on Bryce Young to be your main distributor and gatekeeper. So you have to do some other things, among which should be utilizing your best running back.
I would agree with that wholeheartly. Of course, it's on people who make more money than us to do these things, though.
Yeah, so. We'll see. But I love the Washington one. I feel really good about that one. He didn't get a touchdown last week. I think he only had like 20-some yards rushing. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. So, Washington Commanders straight. Miles Sanders, anytime touchdown, 5-1. $5 and win you 30, which once they give you your 5 back.
Yeah, right.
That for anytime touchdown bet, for those who don't know, that's crazy number. So
before I forget, man, definitely for me, make sure you tell Mrs. Page happy birthday.
Oh, no doubt. Mrs. Page, happy birthday from the live. So happy birthday to the missus. It's her birthday today. Mine was yesterday. Right. It's a celebratory time in this house right now. All right. Moving on to our next 1 o'clock matchup. And I you know what, Ty? I don't see the other 1 o'clock matchup in here. I'm about to put it in here now. So our Colts versus Packers, Green Bay versus Indianapolis. Jordan Love, starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, got hurt against the Eagles. Go Birds, we won. So they have a backup starting in Mr. Malik Willis. So
he don't throw well. He don't know.
We love unders with backups.
Yeah,
particularly
you're damn
backups
right.
like this.
Especially one that joined the team a month ago.
Right.
Like, it ain't like he even had training camp. Even if he did, I would take this number 10 times out of 10. But the fact that he just showed up, like, what's up, y'all? And they are giving him the reins today. Like, he wasn't very productive at Tennessee when he had time to learn the offense. So I don't really expect much there. It should definitely be a run-heavy game. You could substitute Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor for both running backs, or you could add, both quarterbacks, or you can add both quarterbacks and have a mega joint. But because I did a separate ticket where I just picked Malik Willis and Anthony Richardson to score anytime touchdowns, and I think that came out to like 11-1. But for this one in particular, both running backs to score, Malik Willis under 169, and the quarterback for the Colts, Anthony Richardson, to at least get 25 yards. I like this.
I love the running back portion of this ticket for sure, just because I feel like this is, and me and Ty kind of talked about this too, we feel like this is going to be one of those running back kind of weeks, like where the running backs are very involved. And
because last week was, for the most part, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
No, agreed. Last week was that, and we feel like it'll be even more so this week, particularly from teams who struggled in certain areas last week, kind of like Ty alluded to with the Panthers and so on and so forth. So we got Malik Willis under 168, under 168 yards passing. That'll be in the quarterback passing column. Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdowns. That'll be in the touchdown tab. And Anthony Richardson, 25 rushing yards. I feel like this is almost kind of like Lamar Jackson. Like every week, you got to consider this in a parlay just because of the style that they play and what they're going to be doing. Anthony Richardson, 25 yards rushing is always going to be a good play.
He'll probably double that. It just dawned on me. I'm wondering what he had last week, because I know he had a rushing touchdown last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. He definitely had a rushing touchdown last week. All right. So let's see. We got
56 yards last week. We asked for half.
So, like, I don't know. I'm gonna say it out loud here. I'm kind of hold myself to it. I'm considering. I got to see what the odds are on a Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Anthony Richardson 25 yards a piece parlay. What that might come out to. That might end up being
Josh Allen.
Bills quarterback. Yeah.
Didn't they play? They play Thursday.
No, I'm saying next week.
Oh no, okay, yeah.
I want to see what that looks like. I'm saying it out loud.
I got you.
Because I want to put those three together. Yeah. Because I feel like if that comes 2-1, that might be like every week, man. We might just ride the shit out of that.
There's no reason for that not to cash.
Yeah. So I'm just saying it out loud. But I digress. On to some all right. So let's review that real quick for those if we went a little too fast. Malik Willis under. Josh Jacobs and John Taylor, anytime touchdown. Anthony Richardson, 25 yards rushing. Our next ticket kind of goes back to a theme that we had and we have continued to have, and that we don't like Bryce Young very much. We don't think he's a very good quarterback.
Yeah. I'm sure he's a good human. You know,
we don't know Bryce Young personally.
If I was in a restaurant and I was choking, he might apply to Heimlich, but in terms of being an NFL quarterback, he's really not there yet at all. But Adam Thielen is a good wide receiver. He had 5 targets for 3 catches last week.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to keep looking for him, and he's going to get open. So 1 catch a quarter did not seem unreasonable. I could imagine if Bryce gets anywhere from 125 to 150 yards, a high majority of those are going to be, if he throws to wide receiver, it's going to be to Thielen. We're not asking much from Miles Sanders. Again, 24.5 rushing yards for your starting running back. Like,
is insane.
That should be doable.
Let's be real about how insane that is.
Yeah, right. And J.K. Dobbins, I think, had 130 yards last week or something like that.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, right. So we're only asking. We ain't even asking for half that.
Right. So the other part of the Adam Thielen piece in this I like is that they have Deontay Johnson on the other side, who is a very good wide receiver and who is receiving most of the attention defensively, which is why Thielen had 5 targets, because those are the only 2 people they have to throw the ball to, as far as I know. It does not seem like they have a plethora of options to throw the rock to. So yes, I feel comfortable about Adam and this ticket just seems like the only thing we're concerned about is Bryce Young finding himself. Everything else feels really fucking good on this.
If that's the only concern, then I have no concerns.
you are concerned.
And last week, J.K. Dobbins 135 yards rushing.
135.
Like I said, we're not asking for half of that against a worse team. So, make it happen, Captain.
Indeed. All right. So, moving on, we have you want to do the combo ticket or you want to do the Chiefs game first?
Player's choice. You tell me.
Let's go with this one. Mm-hmm. 4 o'clock window. We have one for y'all. We kept this one simple, and just for like those who are familiar with it, you do 4 and 5 leg parlays sometimes, and then that one leg does you dirty. A 3-piece is always the cleanest, most quiet way to make this money. We like the Chiefs for a nice little 3-piece. Some of it is simply based on what happened last week. Actually, to be fair, all of it's based on what happened last week. The Bengals didn't look very good.
No.
The Chiefs did.
No.
Travis Kelce didn't have an incredible impact, and that very rarely happens 2 games in a row. Same for Jamar Chase. And Jamar Chase has stated in the news this week that he has no intention to renegotiate. So he's out there selling himself at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And, the Bengals wide receiver course thin. No T. Higgins.
Yeah, no T.
So, and to your other point, Travis not having huge production last week means that he's probably going to get this in, the first half. Yeah. So, 3-1, man. This is you might want to call it a value ticket, but I don't really see any holes here.
70 yards for Jamar Chase. The number they were given was great on that to add into this. 5 catches for Kelce. He's going to get the targets. He's going to get the volume. That's not that. Again, like Ty said, you mess around and had that 5 tickets green that 5 catches green by the end of the first quarter. That's not out of the question at all.
In most cases, I like to go receptions over yards, but Jamar Chase's receptions were just those odds were just insanely low.
Well, because without T. Higgins, who else?
Exactly. So, but if we all think he's going to get the targets, he's capable of getting yards. Yeah,
so. And Jamar Chase is one of those dudes where, to be fair, the last thing to cash on this might be the top line, the Chiefs money line.
Yeah. It could be the second quarter, and we just giggling all right.
just keep it going. Yeah, exactly. So this is an example, and full transparency being tied. This is an example of the type of ticket you will see a little more of next week if we don't hit 1 or 2 of these big boppers we got at the front side of this. Because we might
have to just start jabbing instead of just ringing the bell and throwing uppercuts.
It's not always going to be hooks and cuts. Not always going to be hooks and cuts. That's for sure. But this is the ticket I like the most of all the tickets we did this week. I feel like this is the cleanest, safest ticket. I would have loved Chiefs money line with the 100% profit boost, but didn't do that because even with 100% profit boost, it wasn't plus money. And the Giants are just so bad that if I'm gonna get plus money on them as the loser, I'm gonna take that every time. That's just where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Now for
and more than that, a lot of my bets I base on what's going to piss me off the most and the least. If I would have picked somebody else money line and I saw that Washington whooped on the Giants, I'm kicking my ass the rest of the day because I know what I should have bet, but I didn't. So,
it works that way, sir. I get it. All right. So we got 2 straights, and we have 4 parlays so far, and our final parlay ticket. What we were gonna do was leave some tickets out and then circle back and do a Sunday night, Monday night thing, and we still might. That's not out of the question.
Yeah.
But wanted to put some Monday night action just to combine with another look that I like. This was kind of me driving this ticket, and I talked Ty into it, but
I mean, it didn't take a lot of convincing.
Yeah, no. He absolutely didn't take a ton of convincing. No, not at all. So for Sunday evening's game, Bears versus Texans, I like Joe Mixon 70 yards combined, rushing, receiving,
Mm-hmm.
and an anytime touchdown. Combining that with Monday night's game, the Eagles versus the Falcons, one Mr. Saquon Barkley for an anytime, and Saquon Barkley for 80 yards combined, rushing and receiving. Now,
Right.
if you watched either of these teams play football last week, you should feel really good about these tickets. Joe Mixon and Saquon Barkley, despite all the talent at the wide receiver positions on both of these teams, like both of these teams are fucking loaded at wideout.
Yeah. They're both
Both
good.
of those backs get a ton of work, like a fucking ton of work. We talking screens, everything. They're in the game plan.
Right.
Like
I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Mixon and Saquon hit these numbers just rushing. You know
absolutely.
what I'm saying? So the fact that is rushing / receiving, like
it gives you some, and that was my point. I wanted the ticket to feel like the touchdowns are the only thing we're gonna have to sweat out on here because touchdowns are finicky sometimes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's real, it's clockwork. Get down in that red zone, give it to the running back, easy money. And then other times coaches get cute and then they start doing weird shit. Like I even watched the Texans game. They had a weird little play action off Mixon where they threw to Stephon Diggs. They came back later in the game, and that's where Mixon got his touchdown. Right. And I was watching that because I had Mixon for any time last week. But you know what I mean? So, like, the touchdowns are the touchdowns. Like, the running backs feel the best. This is a good ticket. I like this at 3-1. I put $10 on it. I put $5 bonus, $5 regular, just because, you know, I felt like this was a good $10 ticket. You can put more or less if you so choose. But I like this ticket a lot. But, of course, I say that about all of them.
Right. It is going to be rare, hopefully, that we put up a ticket. I don't really like this one.
I'm not feeling
this. This don't look right, but bet it anyway. So, yeah.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to just quick review, go over this. I'm going to actually replay this show right after this. I'm going to put this up to restream immediately after we get off so that anybody who may miss it or come across it late can get their picks in. But Washington Commanders 100% profit boost money line. That is a fun thing to hate on the Giants, and that is essentially what this is our weekly we hate the Giants pick. And until the Giants show us different, we're gonna run with that.
Right. Yeah. It's
Miles Sanders,
talent, not on emotion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Miles Sanders, Carolina Panthers running back. Carolina Panthers starting running back. 5-1 for an anytime touchdown. That is not a first touchdown bet as you might be used to. That is an anytime. Miles Sanders plus 500. So either they know something or we know something. We'll see shortly. Next one, take it down take it up, I should say, to Green Bay. Colts at Packers. Malik Willis, who's a good runner. I don't know how good of a thrower he is. And because of that, we have him, and that line has actually dropped, by the way. It's not 168.5 anymore. It's 163.5. Still take it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Still take it.
Absolutely.
I just was, you know, because we put these tickets in on Saturday nights, and sometimes these lines move just a little. Yeah. It's like I said, it's 163 now, but no, don't be afraid of that. Take that line. Josh Jacobs anytime, John Taylor anytime, Anthony Richardson 25 yards rush. Oh, wait a minute.
Anthony Richardson got double that.
I forgot one, bro. Look, okay. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. One ticket that I was looking at and didn't quite get to. We have 1:00 Tampa Bay, Detroit. Both of these offenses looked good last week.
Very good.
Jared Goff and the Lions ran the ball pretty successfully against the Rams. Although there's no Aaron Donald, that's still a quality defense, one of the better ones. And they were great against them last week. The goddamn Buccaneers cooked the Commanders. It's the Commanders, but they still did their damn thing. The takeaways that, as me and Ty talked about it, that we got out of that Tampa Bay game was Baker Mayfield's going to throw the ball to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin a lot.
Yes,
regardless. Receptions from either of them seem like a good bet to put in parlays if you're crafting your own tickets. We decided to go with both of them because, again, outside of that, it feels like this is like outside of them, there isn't much there.
Right.
I do like their running back; they use him pretty well. But last week he got hurt a little bit, and they ended up using some dude with a weird name that I forgot. I don't know, some dude we never heard of.
Yeah, we could just leave it as some dude with a weird name.
Baker's going to toss that rock. So we got Mike Evans for 4 and Chris Godwin for 5. Because the Lions ran the ball so well last week, and because they usually run the ball really, really well with Montgomery and Gibbs, and on top of the fact that Amon-Ra St. Brown did not have a great game last week, nor did any of the pass catchers for the Lions except for Jameson Williams, if we're being honest. He was the only one that really got off. Everybody else had, they had volume. It was definitely there, but the production wasn't. So I like for Jared Goff to have a few more yards in the air, as I know Tampa will be keying on the running game. Gibbs, his production is not limited to rushing, and in fact, some games his production is infinitely better in receiving. Mm-hmm. So 90 yards rushing and receiving combined seems very doable and easy for him in a game like this, where I'm sure he'll have some screens and some other things to handle. This ticket is almost 6-1. I again, like I said, we like them all, but this one right here
feels a high-scoring game, and if it's a high-scoring game, then there's going to be a ton of opportunities for everybody involved in both offenses.
Like I can't see looking at this ticket right now. The thing that stands out to me is the thing I should worry about, except maybe if they can run the ball on them like crazy and Goff doesn't throw a lot. The Goff 2 touchdowns might be the thing, but I feel good about Mir, and Evans and Godwin have to be the guys unless they get smoked. Like, if they don't get a bunch of catches, this is a Detroit blowout, which still bodes well for the top of the team.
And they damn sure going to throw the ball if they're getting blown out. So let's do more.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm. So either way, I'm a fan of that. Okay, so I almost forgot that one. But in our review, we did Malik Willis and them. Now we're reviewing our next one, which is the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young under 182.5. That actually has gone down as well too, to like maybe 178. Still take that shit. Like I don't. If it stays above 170, take it. Like anything above 170, take it. And if you go to 165, I'm still thinking on it. But
listen, because you say 170, I was thinking 150. But either way,
yeah, bro doesn't look very talented.
And 125 for Malik Willis. Yeah, for sure.
Indeed.
But no, this one's good.
All right. 4:00 window. Chiefs money line. Travis Kelce 5 catches. Jamar Chase 70 receiving yards. That is a 3-1 ticket, kind of a builder or a safe ticket, if you will, if that's how you want to look at it. But I feel pretty good about it. And last but not least, we got a little running back gumbo with some Joe Mixon rushing, receiving with a touchdown. Saquon rushing, receiving, and a touchdown. These are the primetime games. Neither of these games start until this evening. So you have some toward, and then the other game is tomorrow night. So you had some time to put this in. But this, I like this, and I feel like the odds for this will get worse as the game gets closer. So get this ticket in earlier than later. So those are the picks. Like I said, I'm gonna run this back, man, and it's out of our hands once we give it to y'all. We don't guarantee shit here, man. We just having some fun on the Sunday.
Yeah, no, it's still all gambling, but it comes from a place of research.
Yeah, no, we're not. Please don't think we just like running these on a hunch. These aren't things we feel. These are things we've observed and seen. We're tangible guys. We like to know what it's really hitting for. So
yeah,
like I said, I'm gonna run this back. If you tail, post it on the post. I'm gonna post everything on the socials, on Facebook, and on
or listen, Instagram. If you fade and you hit, I want to know that too. Opposite day.
Yeah, the name of the show is Tailored or Faded. So whatever your decision was, let us know.
Please
get back, tap in with us. Tell us how fucking stupid we are if you didn't do something. Guess what? Because we'll take that and we'll use it, and we'll be as smart as you next week. Or, smarter, whatever.
Or we'll stay stupid.
and none of that is up to us.
Yeah.
In the end, none of those decisions lie in our hands.
Man. But definitely feeling good about this week. We should have some winners for you guys, and we'll keep the party going. And don't think that we forgot about last week, folks asking, what does any of this mean? So we're still working on probably one weekday before Sunday. We'll do like a betting 101 show just to give
Yeah,
folks some
we'll set it up within the next pay period. We'll look at
well,
it.
so we want to
if
make
you
sure
got paid Friday, by the time you get paid again, we should have it together.
right. We just want to make sure that enough people are watching, and the best way to do that is to have wins. So
Yeah.
don't nobody give a shit what we saying if we come up with a crime scene. So once we all green and sunny, more to come.
This the week right here, baby. This the week.
Oh
Tell these bets, make this money, so you ain't mad later when we telling y'all we made this money. That's really the best way I can tell y'all. But we appreciate y'all pulling up on the team. Taylor the Faded. Same time next week, y'all. And next week we gonna be sitting here gloating about how we cooked, putting it in the air, man. Good energy in the air.
Into the existence.
Yeah. We cooking. We cook.